a very warm welcome to each one of you at DICON, the Pune edition. As Roderick said, that a lot is happening in terms of technology, and I would say it's an exciting time to be here across all the organization, because this is the time of intersection of technology and leadership. With rapid advancement in artificial intelligence and its growing demand of digital infrastructure, there's an interesting shift which is happening. All these changes are actually helping organization how to fundamentally operate and transform the organization. And I'm sure each and every one of you as an IT leader would have observed this transition, because earlier it was more of business objective that is driving the organization, and slowly and steadily we are seeing that the key push now is the digital transformation, how it is acting as an enabler, as a driver across organization. And today we'll just talk about certain challenges, and rather than just the challenges, we'll also talk about the strategic opportunities and way ahead in this era of AI. Okay, so I'll be sharing some interesting stats in my PPT and how it connects with all of you. So there's a convergence of data, generative AI, and cloud that is transforming industries. It is driving innovation. It is enhancing productivity. It is enhancing customer experience, because end goal of organizations across vertical are very straightforward. And I think apart from increasing the profitability or enhancing the revenues, there are certain other aspects like innovation, efficiency, and foremost the customer experience, which is really driving the organization on how to utilize digital transformation. And if I talk about customer experience, and I'm sure you as individual, apart from IT leaders, you are consuming a lot of digital content. And if I talk about Netflix, I'm sure majority of you would be even subscribers of Netflix. And it's just a very simple example that whenever you see a certain category of content, you will automatically observe that the same genre of content start getting recommended to you, right? I hope so each and every will agree. So this is how Netflix is using artificial intelligence to push certain recommendations, certain personalized recommendation to you. So this is how Netflix is using the data that has been generated by you, putting out artificial intelligence, and those insights are something which are real time. And I think another example that I would like to share with you is that of Amazon. I'm sure majority of you would be users of Amazon as well. Can I have a hand raise, those who are users of Amazon? Yeah, be it Prime or for shopping. The moment you would like to purchase something, a certain product, you will see a list of recommendation on your right-hand side, right? Of various brands, various similar products. So this is how even Amazon is using AI on a very real-time basis. And it is really interesting to see that after using this artificial intelligence-based personalized recommendation, their sales increased by 35%. And if I go back to my previous example, Netflix, even for them, the main aspect is viewer engagement, right? Personalized recommendation comes, the viewer engagement for Netflix has improved by 75%. So these stats are really strong, right? And similarly, the way you are utilizing this data or say artificial intelligence within your organization, that identification of opportunity and leveraging these three emerging technologies stands as the key. However, with all this, the data is at the center of the entire momentum that has been created by cloud, by artificial intelligence, and now if I very specifically mention generative AI. Many of us would be calling data as the oil or say the new gold. I would refrain myself from calling of oil or gold, because these two minerals are something which have very limited resources for our planet Earth. They will move away. But data is one resource that is increasing day on day. So calling it by these mineral names, I would not prefer. I would rather say that data is the foundation of digital transformation. It is increasing day by day. It's strengthening day by day. I hope so you all will agree, right? Data is not something which is reducing like oil or gold based on our consumption. And it's really amazing that how organizations are using this data in a very specific manner to improve their own business objectives, achieving them, and increasing it year on year, or say even quarter by quarter. And one example that comes to my mind how data is being used as a real-time analytics is by P&G. They are using data and real-time analytics for their supply chain operations. And since the day that they have incorporated in their supply chain operations, the incidence of delays have been reduced by 35%. Imagine if those delays are being reduced, the kind of to the market at the right time would have increased, and it would have impacted their profit and revenue to a greater extent. And as we move ahead to artificial intelligence, I think artificial intelligence may not be right word because it has been there with us for pretty long. I would specifically count on generative artificial intelligence. Now, it has become a game changer for organizations. Organizations across verticals, be it in terms of technology or say healthcare organization, retail, or say even logistics organization. With the increasing use of generative artificial intelligence, a lot is being implemented and leveraged upon, be it your predictive analytics, improving your product, the go-to-market time, the innovation, and even in terms of customer experience. It is even used by various organizations for content generation nowadays. And one such example of content generation, I would say, was Coca-Cola. So this is last year in 2023, when Coca-Cola combined their business and, combined hands with OpenAI's DALL-E and ChatGPT, and they had a very specific aim, how to create content faster for their global campaigns. And they have achieved it and implemented it in such a beautiful way that the way they are creating content for their campaigns is amazing. They think of something and the time which they would have taken to create that content have reduced by half. So that is the power, or that is the impact of generative artificial intelligence that is happening on each and every organization. Now, for all this to have, we need a platform. And I would say cloud has become or has been there with us as an enabler for organization to actually ensure that the technology rides in a very smooth way, achieving scalability, flexibility, and increasing efficiency. And I would say they actually provide that kind of enhanced capabilities that really accelerates the power of AI or say data processing to a greater extent. And another example, if I talk about cloud, is I'm sure you would all have been using Zoom in your organization as a communication tool, right? How many would be using Zoom on a daily basis to communicate with your internal teams? Okay, I see a very handful. Yeah, Zoom? On this table, no? Okay. Okay. So, okay, teams, this is happening. Why I prefer about, I mentioned about Zoom as an example was there were certain stats that was available that pre-pandemic, on a daily basis, on an average, 10 million users were using Zoom for internal communication. Pandemic came, and I would say that was a shift in the era. Any rough estimate that now how many individual users are using Zoom for their internal communication or say within the organization? Any rough estimate that how this would have changed from 10 million? Okay. 100 billion? Million, okay. Any more guesses? 4 billion, okay, that's a pretty good number. It's not that high, but I would say it's very close to 100. It's 300 million individual users who are using Zoom. And I'm sure there are various other platform providers who have come. So, but that number from 10 million to 300 million is a big jump. It's an exponential increase. And all this, I would say cloud has been the main enabler in achieving that kind of scale with such a smooth manner. So we see this synergy in these technology, your data, your cloud, your artificial intelligence, or say generative artificial intelligence, it is impacting industries across verticals. And there are various examples which have been there with us on a daily basis, or we would have witnessed in our day-to-day life, specifically post-pandemic, that it has impacted us as an individual and even at an organization level. I would like to quote another example of Moderna, right? That was a phase in during COVID era where we really wanted those vaccinations to be there with quality and faster also. Now, Moderna used AI-based insights and a cloud-based data platform to ensure that the vaccination is being developed at a faster pace. And they were able to, I think India was one of, it's been praised for one of the countries where even we did in our country as well. The kind of volume that we generated, the kind of impact touching the lives of 1 billion individual users, that was amazing for us. And another example of nowadays, I would say, is Tesla, the autonomous cars, right? They are using data from their sensors within the cars on a real-time basis and making those decisions. So that is the impact in terms of innovation on products that organizations are implementing and creating that kind of products for us. This is the slide where I have just listed what are the various line of businesses or verticals where that impact has been seen. And it has just not in terms of at the pilot phase. In fact, there have been proper use cases where the efficiency was being achieved by the organization. Strategic Insights did one of the survey where we got in touch with 1,000+ IT leaders in India asking that where are they actually using artificial intelligence within the organization, which division or LOB moved from the pilot phase to the actual implementation. Any guesses which division actually stood at the top? It may be within the organization as well. So any guesses from the audience? Absolutely, bang on. So HR is one division which I'm sure it was not imagined at the beginning of artificial intelligence, but the use cases and the efficiency that has brought in HR as a division is tremendous. And it's just not HR. One example I would say is legal. A lot of documentation happens in legal as a vertical. One of the organizations have implemented an AI tool which actually cut short the overall process of documentation and improved the productivity by 90%. That's a huge number. There are various, there's one of a very well-known Indian-based fintech organization who are providing loans. They have their system within the organization where if an individual applies for a loan, starting from that phase to the final decision making based on the credit score, whether the loan is to be provided or not, or what are the specific rates, it's all automated with no human intervention. The only human intervention happens is when there's an escalation or when the stats are something which are not matching the index. And that happens hardly at 8 to 10% is what they have committed. So that is the impact of automation, the data, the AI, that is having on industries. Now, this is one study that we do at the beginning of the year. The parameters that you see, the y-axis tells that where the future investments are planned to go. The x-axis tells you the current investments of the organization. And if you'll see the size of the bubbles vary, which tells about the prioritization. Now, when we did the study in January 2023, artificial intelligence, which has been circled orange, that was there in the status quo quadrant. After 12 months, 2024, when we did the study, there was a significant movement from the status quo to the accelerator. So now artificial intelligence, machine learning is being viewed as one of the key accelerators for the organization in their digital transformation journey. So that is how that implementation, or say the assessment across the organization is going on across artificial intelligence. Now, when we talk about all these opportunities, there definitely come certain challenges as well. There's a growing demand of digital infrastructure when it comes to implementation of artificial AI-based tools. So that definitely comes as one of the biggest inhibitors, but somehow the way out can be the scalability of data, real-time data, how you are assessing it, and seamless cloud integration. So these are certain strategy aspects that can definitely help the organization way forward. Moving forward, as we talked about data, that data is at the center of it, but somehow the way the data is increasing on a daily basis in terms of millions of GB being generated every day, data accuracy, its security, and AI readiness of the data becomes a key aspect for organization, where somehow still majority of the organization feel that the data silos are one of the major challenges for them. So those silos need to be broken up. There needs to be extensive data governance along with the management, because obviously this definitely requires a lot of investment. So strategic prioritization and management needs to be done at this phase. Then comes cloud. Now, I would say that every organization is unique in terms of their own strategies, in terms of their infrastructure. Whether you would like to move to a multi-cloud structure or a hybrid cloud, it's something which is very unique to you, to your organization. That strategy needs to be in place. So then only you will be ensuring that that scalability or that reduction in latency is there, and you will be able to manage your cost as well. Because there was a lot of assessment across verticals that, is cloud actually helping us reduce cost, or it's increasing the cost of the long term? But I would say until and unless you assess that what exactly your organization requires, how the infrastructure is placed for you, that assessment will make you take a better decision for the cloud adoption. Now, balancing the adoption of AI with compliance. Now, this has been one of the hot topics where a lot of regulations are we already have EU Act in place where there are regulations and compliances very strictly towards the use of AI, but I would say it's still in the nascent phase and it's evolving. India, on the other hand, we still have our DPDP Act, which is yet to be implemented in a full-fledged way. But somehow, as we move towards implementation or adoption of AI, we need to have that responsibleness at our end. Because the way we are using the data or AI, that is something that ethical use needs to be driven by at our end. But another key aspect is about the talent. So there was this study that we conducted where they asked that, in terms of what are the biggest challenges that you face in terms of their journey to digital adoption, and IT leaders across India, 68.5% of IT leaders mentioned that they still feel that there's a huge skill gap when it comes to AI adoption within their organization. So ensuring that upskilling of the existing team, because they are aware of your own infrastructure, how you can better upskill them, collaborating with the respective partners and investing in this training program is the way forward, because then only this percentage, the huge percentage of 68% will get reduced. And then future-proofing the digital infrastructure by being resilient, adaptive, and having scalable system is the key moving forward. Because we do have our legacy infrastructure in place. Moving to AI tools is just not about topping it over them. It needs to be there at the base level. How you can implement it to have better efficiency being attained at your level. Now, while digital infrastructure is the backbone of AI transformation, I would say prioritizing scalability, implementing security, collaborating, and investing in the talent, existing talent that you have, upskilling them, or getting in partnership with the various educational organizations so that the new set of workforce which is entering the organization are as equipped as your expectation. So that would be the way forward for each and every organization in their digital transformation journey. And I think that's it from my side. And I'm sure the panel discussions that we're having way forward will definitely further delve into the further nuances, challenges, and strategies that I've just discussed in the PowerPoint. Thank you.